Hey there, welcome back to Signata Design. So, in today's video, this time, I will not make a tutorial, but rather discuss and explore the difference between the two rendering technologies that exist today. It is ray tracing and path tracing. These technologies have revolutionized the way we experience virtual environments, creating stunningly realistic visuals in video games, movies, 3D render and also animations. So, let's get started and unravel the magic behind ray tracing and path tracing. Okay, now we start from ray tracing first. Ray tracing is a rendering technique that simulates the behavior of light in a scene by tracing the path of individual light rays. It calculates the interaction of light with various objects, surfaces, and materials, resulting in realistic reflections, refractions, and shadows. So, how ray tracing simulates the light? Ray tracing works by casting rays from the camera's perspective into the scene. These rays bounce off objects and surfaces, gathering information about their properties and interactions with light sources. The process repeats recursively until the desired level of realism is achieved. And the key features to achieve some level of realism is, ray tracing excels at rendering accurate reflections, dynamic shadows, and realistic lighting effects. It delivers stunning visuals with lifelike reflections on glossy surfaces, detailed shadows, and precise light interactions. So, after we discussed ray tracing earlier, we will discuss another rendering technology, namely path tracing. The definition of path tracing is an extension of ray tracing which takes into account the behavior of light when it interacts with various materials, enabling the simulation of global illumination effects. Now, we will try to discuss how path tracing works. Just like how ray tracing works, path tracing tracks the light from the camera. However, instead of stopping the beam after one bounce, path tracing continues to simulate the path of light by probabilistically generating new rays from the point of intersection, mimicking real-world light transport. After discussing the definition and how path tracing works, we now know the main key features of path tracing is: it excels at displaying global illumination effects, including interdiffuse reflection, indirect lighting, and caustic. This simulates the complex behavior of light in a scene, resulting in more accurate and realistic lighting. After we discuss the definition, how it works and the key features of each of these rendering technologies, you will realize that both of them have different functional roles. Some of you must be asking, which of the two is better? However, before we discuss which is better, let's discuss the main differences between ray tracing and path tracing. The main difference between the two lies in the approach to handling indirect lighting. Ray tracing is primarily concerned with direct lighting, calculating shadows and reflections accurately, but does not explicitly address indirect lighting effects. Path tracing, on the other hand, takes indirect illumination caused by multiple light reflections into account, resulting in a more realistic and accurate global illumination effect. What you need to know is that basically, ray tracing requires a lot of light to achieve realistic results. Therefore, there is a need for a dedicated ray tracing accelerator such as NVIDIA's RTX series, to significantly improve real-time ray tracing computing performance. Then what about path tracing? The need for light needed in path tracing is of course much more than ray tracing. This is because path tracing also simulates indirect light reflections on render objects. This causes path tracing to be more computationally demanding than ray tracing for each pixel. This is why the time needed to render an object using path tracing is much longer than ray tracing. This also causes path tracing to be rarely used in real-time rendering. However, with dedicated ray tracing accelerator devices such as NVIDIA's RTX series, it can also help optimize real-time rendering using path tracing. Okay, back to the question, which one is better between the two? In terms of which technique is better, it depends on the specific use case and desired results. Ray tracing is faster and can provide high-quality results for many applications, especially where direct lighting is the main focus. This is typically used in real-time rendering applications, such as video games. However, ray tracing alone can produce results that are less realistic or less accurate when associated with indirect lighting. Path tracing, with its ability to accurately simulate global illumination effects, can produce very realistic and physically accurate images. Because it requires a longer rendering time than ray tracing, path tracing is often used in offline rendering scenarios, such as film production or architectural visualizations. However, now several AAA games have implemented path tracing into their game settings. In short, ray tracing is a faster technique that focuses on direct lighting, whereas path tracing is more computationally expensive but produces more realistic results considering global illumination effects. The choice between the two depends on the rendering application's specific requirements and the balance between quality and performance. Now, I will show you some examples of the differences between ray tracing and path tracing in games. And there you have it. We've explored the difference between ray tracing and path tracing, two incredible rendering techniques that have transformed the world of computer graphics. Ray tracing excels at accurate reflections and shadows, while path tracing goes one step further by simulating a global illumination effect. As technology advances, both methods are set to redefine how we perceive and experience virtual worlds. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more interesting content. And as always, please leave your comments and questions below. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Ciao!